Well, you know, there's a bit of a stigma when it comes to pink wines. I don't know. People think pink wines. No, I can't go there. But Justin, the ambassador of wine education for Arizona Stronghold Vineyards, our favorite local wine maker, is here to talk us through the pink wines and why they do work and why you shouldn't be a wine snob about them.
I like the way you put it. You shouldn't be a wine snob about it, and you shouldn't look down on people that like, say, the sweeter style. But know that that's not the only style out there. There's also a very serious, dry style of rosé that's very, very food friendly. And when we found out you guys were doing this burger challenge today, we were excited because that's where this kind of shines, is in this barbecue environment, this warmer weather environment.
Sure.
Because they're light, they're fresh, they're served chilled, and they really go well with burgers.
You had me, you've sparked my interest because you said that they're they can be drier, because I've always known a rosé to be fruity and sweet. And so it's like a one glass kind of deal for me. I'm density after that.
And that's usually why a lot of what, they deem themselves as serious wine drinkers kind of do this when they see the pink wine in the glass, because they might have tried one and it was sweeter, so they don't try anymore. But most of the world makes rosé in a dry style. France just surpassed its white wine consumption with rosé. They drink more pink wine than they do white wine. So
they're drinking the pink, and you can have the subtlety of the fruit with the kind of the dryness of, say, like a Chardonnay or something?
Absolutely. You get the red berry flavors, and this is interesting. I brought these darker red wines out along with these pink wines because the same grapes that we make these very, very dark reds out of, we make these very, very light, fresh, pretty pink wines out of. So you get
what's
that
the difference then? How does it go from here to here?
The difference is, I like a tea bag analogy. You think of a tea bag and you soak it in hot water. The longer you leave it in there, the darker your tea gets. It's the same concept, but with grapes. And the skins are what provide the color in this instance. So we essentially steep the skins while it's fermenting, and the longer you let it sit, the clear juice with the skins, the darker your wine will be. If you rack it off very quickly, you'll get a pink wine. You'll get a much lighter, fresher style wine. On
that same note, then what's the difference between the lighter rosé that's not as sweet and the ones that are a little bit drier and not?
A fermentation process. You either ferment all the sugar out and you get a dry wine, and that's just what dry wine means, is there's no sugar left in the wine. Or an off-dry or a sweet wine, you leave some sugar. I just found out that the white Zinfandel that's really famous, that's got a little sugar to it, was an accident from a stuck fermentation. They were trying to make a dry pink wine, a dry rosé.
You're kidding.
Fermentation stopped, it got stuck, which happens in the wine industry. So there was a little residual sugar. They barreled it down and they bottled it, and they said, well, let's try to sell it. And for them, it was a good move because it was their most popular wine, but that's not the only style out there.
What else should we know about rosés and pairing it in the summertime, burgers, and you think of burgers and beer.
You do.
I think we kind of need to open our minds a little bit.
Well, that I think is why places like France and Italy really like these wines, because they're so versatile. You could have this with sushi or with something like a burger. They're very, very versatile because of their freshness, because of the acidity, and because they have those kind of red berry flavor characteristics like a red wine. But they shine in the summer because you can serve them cold. You don't have to put an ice cube in your red wine. You can drink a pink wine.
But can you put an ice cube in your pink wine, or is that still not?
I'll look the other way if you do.
Okay,
yes,
I was learning etiquette. I know I certainly don't.
Well, there's etiquette, but above all, do what you like.
Okay.
Honestly, I'll be the first person to say, drink what you like.
If it's super cold, then I don't need the ice cube.
Right, exactly.
If it's not, and it's a rosé, like I have to go with the ice cube.
You don't spritz it though, right? No,
I don't. All right, so remind us where we can get your Arizona Stronghold wine.
These are available pretty much anywhere you can buy wine. Total Wine, Bevmo, AJ's. And also, our site archive wines are only available at our tasting room in Old Town Cottonwood. Very, very small case production stuff.
Ooh.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's an incentive to get out there for sure. Well, thanks so much. That was nice to have you come out.
Thanks for wearing pink. You look lovely.
Well, I tried. I'm glad you noticed.